The presenting sponsor of Upmarket is Ariel, the best place to grow and manage your real estate media business. Online at Ariel.com. That's ARYEO.com. Coming to you from the Upmarket studio in the beautiful Ojai Valley of Southern California, this is Upmarket, a podcast about the business of real estate, photography, and media. My name is Reed Fish. I am the CEO and a co-founder of Upmarket Media. A little bit of sadness today. Mark Corcoran, not here. Chelsea Froelich, not here. Back from Paris, but producing from afar. And don't worry, it's not just me talking at you for an hour. We have a very wonderful guest who I will introduce in a moment. But first, just to recap, we launched our course on that last episode. We still have a few days left in our special launch period where you get 35% off if you use the code LAUNCH35. It's at upmarketcourse.com. It's all about how to scale your real estate media business with Mark and I, and then we have a bunch of experts. We have a lawyer, we have a marketer, we have a realtor, we have a business coach, we have a bookkeeper. We have so many people who are going to come on and give their expertise in this course to help you scale and grow your business. If you want to hear more about it, you can hear it straight from the horse's mouth, the horse being me. You can actually book a call with me for 15 minutes and I can tell you about it. I can answer any questions you have. I've been doing a few of these calls since our last episode. Super fun. I love talking to our listeners. All our listeners are actually really funny and cool and nice. And so even if you just want to chat and hang out for a little while, you don't have to buy the damn course. We can just talk. My schedule's up there. You can book a call. I'd love to talk to you, answer any questions you have. It's upmarketcourse.com. Launch35 is the code. It expires the day after April Fool's Day. We want to give all the fools one last chance to get in there on April 2nd to get the deal. Do it. Now, I am very happy. This is a guy I've been talking to since we first actually started this podcast. I kind of dangled the fruit out in front of him that he needs to come on, and I've been teasing him for a year, and I think we're finally getting to that point. So if you are at all active on Facebook in the groups for real estate, photography, and media, you know this guy as the biggest troll there ever was, but he's more than that. He's one of the top actual content producers. Look, we all produce content, but this guy produces more content than anyone I've ever seen online. It's Dominic Dom Wilkerson of Dom Does Media in Gig Harbor, Washington. Dom, I just want to ask, how in the hell do you produce so much content?
My cell phone. Like
it's just on your cell phone.
It's just great. On my cell phone. And so like anytime I come over with an idea, I find a space to go do it. And then I do it. Or I already have the media already done, from the shoots, and I just compile it. And then I can get 4 or 5 pieces of content within 10 minutes. And so,
okay, but we all have a cell phone. I mean, it's just like I don't know. It's just the ideas. I think you're just producing so much stuff. And obviously, or not obviously, but for me, when I watch it a little bit, I'm like, man, I would never think to do this because I wouldn't think it would be interesting. But then when you do it, it's actually kind of interesting. So I don't even know what to make of that.
So, I mean, I guess it kind of comes back to before I did real estate photography, I tried to actually be a adventure vlogger, going out into nature and everything and covering all that.
Adventure blogger?
Yeah. So like you just vlog all your adventures going out to the woods.
Vlog. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I just tried to go do that. And I think that actually really helped me with my business, also growing my business with targeted hashtags and everything. But it really taught me how to like teach people or just be on camera and everything like that, like keeping your eye level, like the same height and everything, making sure like anytime you do a cut so that they're not trying to track your eyes, like where's it going to be? And then like how people's attention spans are. And so like, I know my attention span is like that of a Chihuahua looking for crickets in the middle of the ocean.
I've talked to you on the phone. I've talked to you on the phone before. It's like, it's rough.
No, that time that we talked on the phone, it was a very bad time to talk on the phone. I had barely any reception and I had to go reshoot a shoot. Oh, dear God, you just brought back up that.
Okay, so you're out there doing the vlogging, but okay, but I guess there's just so many things to dive into because my impression of you is that not only now, you have your established business and you're kind of very well known in our industry for all this content that you're creating and being active in the groups, but has this, and just to, of course, bring it back to what we are always about on this podcast, has creating this content, and this is not the content that you're creating for your realtors, which is, the stuff we all do, but all this kind of extra, has that really helped grow your business?
Actually, yes. Amazingly, yes. So I transitioned this at the beginning of the year. I really wanted to start pushing shorts and everything. And so causing myself to push shorts, it means I needed to push YouTube shorts. It's their version of TikTok and Reels and everything like that. So I had to focus on really creating more content, something a little bit shorter, because you're only able to get 15 seconds or a 60-second length. You can go a little bit shorter than that, but YouTube.
But shorts, I thought shorts on YouTube, you could be up to 60 seconds. Is that wrong?
You can be, but it's it goes 15 or 60, but you could be anywhere in between that. If you tip the top of it, it switches it up. So I wanted to focus on that, but then I also wanted to become I needed a case study based off of it. So I used myself as a case study. And so I know I needed to push YouTube a lot harder than what I have been. Dustin, I think his last name is Haley, down in, I think, Texas. He also started pushing YouTube too, and he started getting some growth also along with me. And we started getting traction that way and getting clients actually calling us up.
Okay. So you're, cause I feel like you're producing a lot of content that is kind of for our industry, but so this is the content that you're kind of producing that is geared towards realtors. And then you are putting that on your Dom Does Media business YouTube channel.
Yeah, correct.
Right. And so that has been, and then on YouTube Shorts, are you hashtagging that as well?
No,
so that your realtors are going to find you. So how are they finding you then?
So, a lot of them do follow you whenever you share your videos or whenever you're hosting your videos. So sometimes whenever you host it and it gets posted to the MLS, people do follow you back that way. That's very minimal, but a lot of times it's on my TikTok, it's on my Instagram, but I transitioned more into a bigger push to how can I take the content that I'm creating and transform it into 3 platforms, actually 4 platforms. And so I was able to start doing that, and same with the editing and everything like that. But the biggest push is actually being educational for the agent. We always complain about how our agents don't know how to do something, or does something that just irritates you or something, right?
That's what this podcast is all about. Yeah.
Yeah. And
complaining about agents. Yeah.
I heard that. I heard that one with the agent that popped on, the one that you do the other podcast.
Ignacio.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh, this is a great one. I was in between shoots. And you're like, they ask questions. I'm like, oh, those questions came from the underground. And I was all like, okay, I get it. We don't strictly talk crap about agents in there, just situations that we're in. But anyways, so I just kind of wanted to showcase agents. I'm like, look, there's a lot of people out there trying to sell you this content that I'm giving to you for free. You don't need to. Right. They're just repurposing the content that they find on YouTube and charging you for it because you don't know where to find it. And so I'm just I'm building more of a personal relationship with definitely the agents around me, which is accidentally causing me to get more agents around the United States calling me and asking me, hey, would you fly out to produce some media? And I'm like, I guess, but you better charge.
Well, yeah. Here's my budget, but yes,
here's the invoice. But
that's what my business, Jeff, our business advisor, always says. If someone asks you that, you say yes, and this is what I need to do that, and then maybe they'll do it.
And a lot of times they do. I think we're going to Montana Whitefish in August to shoot a hunting camp out that way. Wow! And so
that's kind of fun.
Yeah. We'll make it a weekend.
Here's my experience with YouTube Shorts and in our kind of social media just to use Upmarket Pod as a bit of a case study in opposites of your case study, because I think you're very successful at it. Our social media is horrific because I'm in charge of it. I'm terrible at social media. but we've kind of evolved the podcast a little bit. We're doing video now, and we are have a different editor that we're trying to get some more short form content out of, and we haven't done a ton of it yet. But we did actually pull one that it was like the 45-second clip of some witty thing that Mark and I said. I mean, obviously so witty, and we threw it up on Instagram, and then I threw it up on YouTube, where we've actually been posting full video episodes of the podcast, and we're getting dozens of watches on there. And I threw the short up, and it was like 50 seconds long or whatever. And it just went ape shit. Like immediately we got like within the first hour, it got like 1,000 views. But I'm wondering for us, because in a different way than even our flagship businesses are that cater to realtors, the Upmarket podcast is very micro niche, right? There's maybe 10,000 people in the United States who are even a potential audience for this. So of those 1,000 views I got, where's the quality? Is there any kind of quality for what we're trying to do with our business? I mean, I feel like it just got fed into the algorithm. It got a bunch of eyeballs on it, but they're all completely irrelevant. No one will ever click on or watch this podcast because we're so targeted for this niche audience, which in a way our other businesses are too. There's more realtors out there, but but I only want like realtors in my county seeing the content, right? So how are we making sure that it's not like that our views on YouTube are actually quality views?
So, I mean, right now with YouTube, I know there's like certain tiers. It goes up to like, first, they'll push it out to like 300 people. You'll get 300 views. They see how many interactions that you'll get off of that. Then they'll push it up to like 1,200 views. I think the next tier that I went up to was 2,200 views, and then to a 4,500 view. I haven't been able to go past 4,500 views, but YouTube like tests all that stuff in order to see, hey, is this something that people want to actually view? And so the more you post, the more they realize who's actually liking the stuff, because they're catering it to the people who are viewing your stuff. So like if you go onto your YouTube page and you're not clicking on your subscribers, it's going to be recommending you other content, like other YouTube channels that they think that you would like based off of your view history.
Right. Okay.
Or search history. And so, I mean,
therefore you would want to hashtag it or have real estate in the title of the video.
You could, yeah. So your title and your thumbnail are very, very big, especially whenever people are just like scrolling through everything like that. You want your title.
Are your thumbnails? Okay, finish your thought.
I'm not that big of a thumbnail editor. Like on my main videos, I will do a Canva thing.
It's not you with a derp face or whatever.
No.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I mean, it just seems those kind of like kind of pictures are like. It just seems so cheesy and clickbaity and yellow journalism, and I hate that stuff. I studied journalism in college, and I was like, stop. That's all it is now. And so, what do you call that? But I mean, like YouTube is there. You need to I feel like as a media provider, you need to have a YouTube presence. The main reason behind that is your Google My Business. So your Google My Business or Google Business Suite, I think it's called now. It actually it actually pulls from YouTube also. You don't necessarily need to bring your videos over to Google Business Suite, but you should post pictures, you should post videos to your Google Business Suite so that it can stay top of mind on the Google searches and stuff like that. But anytime you search yourself, your YouTube videos are going to be populating because, Google owns YouTube, and YouTube is the second largest search engine. So that's the reason why I push both for real estate agents and for real estate media providers to actually push into YouTube. But a lot of my content as of lately has been blown up more on Instagram, because I think Instagram is loosening up their chokehold on the funnel of views and everything, because they see a kink in TikTok's armor and they're like, hey, we need to compete a little bit better, which is why Reels have blown up in the past 2 years. There's been a handful of media providers that have been doing vertical format videos for the past 2-3 years. Like, I look back at 52 weeks ago, I was like, what's my 2022 goal? And I was like, to get more agents to do more vertical format video.
Right.
And now
and you've been very successful at that, right?
Yeah. And so it brings in a good 15 to 20% more on an invoice than not having it because either I can record it vertically or I got some new editing techniques that I can do in order to produce our horizontal regular videos as a reel also. But
aren't you like kind of are you kind of like stacking the
correct.
the frames? Yeah.
So,
no, I think that's a cool look. Yeah.
So it just keeps the audience attention. Like the most recent one that I just posted, it was a $2.7 million house that I shot last year. And so I got to go back again. And it's cool because it has different furniture in it and it looks a little bit more classier this time. And so I compared my two videos. I'm like, man, okay, I have upgraded my videos since last time. But
that's good.
Yeah, definitely. That's always positive to see. Where was I going with that?
I have no idea. I'm not inside the mind of Dom. I don't know.
Oh no, it's chaos inside of here.
Yeah, no,
so
I
much
can
chaos.
tell. I'm trying to stay out. That's why we're doing this remotely. I don't want to be in the same room.
You don't want to. It's actually a quite nice room now. It's
oh yeah, I know. I've seen the 5,000 pictures you posted online about it.
I bring content, man.
I get it.
But it's
well, exactly. That's what I mean. That's why you're here.
But yeah, no, it's more about like teaching. My content lately has been showing agents that they can produce content themselves. A lot of them are nervous. A lot of them like, but I'm not blonde hair, blue eyes, 110 pounds. I don't want to be on camera.
We're not Dom.
I'm like, I wish I was 110 pounds. I'm working on that though. Just wait till Vegas. I want to see what you guys see me at Vegas.
You shave your beard off. You'll drop 20 pounds.
Pretty much. I know. I haven't done my yearly chop off yet, so I'll probably be doing that sometime soon. But it's just more motivation and confidence. And so then I show people, I'm like, look, I'm not the most attractive guy in the world, maybe the second, but not the first, you know? So like if I'm able to 10. Out here putting out this content, it's content. And this is how your audience, which is potential homeowners or home buyers, will get to know you better. And so it's better than just posting those market stats or what are the interest rates doing.
Yeah. Okay. I agree. However.
And here we go.
Yeah. No, I think it's something to think about because that's what I, of course, say to my agents as well. Right.
Yep.
Like, yeah, you got to be producing content. We do not have to produce all this content for you. You can just do it yourself. It's easy, blah, 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 blah. But the fact is, not everyone is even going to be a 10th as good at it as you are. And you can take looks aside, you can do whatever. It's just like you clearly have a natural aptitude for it that most people are not going to have. Right. And it's just like, you know, some of us have skills in doing certain things that are like everyone can't host a podcast. Right. And so I happen to have an aptitude for it that just came from somewhere. I have no idea where, but like, and maybe you couldn't host a podcast, Dom, but you're awesome at social media. I suck at social media. So it's like, it's not always, even though I can like talk on a microphone and it's fine. Like I can't just like then translate that directly to social media. And I feel like so many agents, some of them of course are very camera ready, very well-spoken and confident, but most of them are not. So how are we, you know, so is it kind of disingenuous to say to these agents, hey, you got to get on camera, you got to do this? Or is it just like, they just have to suck it up and learn it? Because I feel like if you're out there and they suck, you're just not going to get any traction with that content anyway.
There's going to be videos that suck. I produce videos now that suck. Of course. That doesn't convey a certain message.
We have like an episode of our podcast that sucks. I'm not going to say which one, but what's this one?
Thank you. I want to go as the lowest rated ones, please. That would be
okay. Well, yeah, I hope so. Yeah, perfect.
Anyways, so I think about it like this. I've watched one agent. Her name's Ruthie Taylor up here in Tacoma, Washington.
Okay.
Her first vertical format videos that she was doing, she's. If you meet her in person, she's a great person, but it wasn't conveying onto video. And it just looked weird. It looked like she was trying to point at things and, you know, the timing wasn't right. So the thing she was pointing at was down here, whatever. And it just looked awkward. But then I kept watching her, sticking with it. And now everybody goes to her. I use her as a case study. I'm like, yo, if you go back and look at her old stuff, it's not what it was here. And I even talked to her the other day at a networking event. I was like, what changed? And her biggest thing was lighting and video editing. Whenever she came, she took like a little course on it, and she still just uses her cell phone, but she knows how to. So that's one thing. when I was in the military, they taught you how to do your job. A lot of people knew how to do their job, but until you knew how to explain your job, you weren't very proficient at your job. So I was like, dude, I can arrest that guy. I have no problem with arresting that guy. They're like, tell me step by step how to arrest a person. I was like, no, just let me do it. It's fine. But I think that's one thing. A lot of people, there are a lot of newer agents that are out there that aren't maybe all the way confident in the information that they're speaking on. And so I think that can convey like as nervousness on a video. But if you're confident about something, you should be able to easily talk about it on video.
Right.
So that's just how I feel. Like if you consistently do it and be confident,
you should be. But I'm just saying, I feel like 90% of our agents would not be, or 80%, 70%, 60, 50%, even, right. You know, so for us to prescribe to every, I don't know, I guess sometimes I feel like we, you know, and I lump myself into it, that we're a little disingenuous with being like, you got to produce this content and you can do it yourself. I just think most people can't do it themselves.
That's when you hire me. And it has came into it to where I go to offices now and produce those vertical format videos and edit their captions for them. All it is I forgot the style that they call it. It's like a Houdini style or whatever, with the yellow text across the bottom and everything like that. It's just a certain style that these two creators came up with like 2-3 years ago.
But is that a sustainable model for you? I mean, is there like, it's one thing to do like that vertical reel on a property video, but to do the kind of thing we're talking about where you're making content for an agent that they're going to put out, you know, 2, 3, 4 of these a week.
Yep.
Is there, I mean, are there budgets that can accommodate this?
There could be.
I mean, I guess well, there could be. Yeah. But I mean, have you been able to sell that?
Yeah. I've had agents bring me into their office for $1,500 to $2,000 for an hour to 2 hours of work. Yeah. There's going to be a little bit more editing. So put an hour to an hour editing afterwards, because I can't send that to Vietnam. Like, I would have to have someone perfectly understanding English over there with, you know, our euphemisms and everything. Like, is that even the right word? I have a GED, so I don't even know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
no, that works. Yeah. Or colloquial stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a little bit difficult. So I have to do it myself. So you have to come up with a way to make it feasible for you to go do that. Like, you can't just have an hour-long video of the agent talking and you asking questions. That's the biggest thing, is you have to learn how to do interviews yourself. Like, you have to ask them the right questions and not just expect them to just spurt out whatever they want to say. Half the time they don't come prepared. And so,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's you know, doing the stuff that you're doing is doing these kind of the non-property video, vertical videos for people. It's kind of a different skill set, right? And you're just saying, I can't outsource the editing of those, but it's like, can you have your second shooter go and do it?
Yep.
I mean, or even are many of our agency owner, you know, business owners out there, even are we like, can I go do that? I mean, theoretically I can, but I feel like I'm not that attuned to those social media trends. So maybe I'm not the right one to go and try to direct, you know, an agent to do these 8 different videos. I mean, it's like, how are we, like, I guess, how is the average real estate media business owner going to be able to navigate that?
I think that's going to be a little bit different concept. So let's just think back in 2020, there used to be a big subgroup of just real estate photographers that were able to make a nice career out of their life, and, you know, just being able to produce only photography. I'm talking about just photos, no drone, no 3D, no nothing. COVID happened. We had to all transition to a one-stop shop. In fact, whenever I went to PFRE for the first time, I was actually taken back, because they were like, I think I had this conversation with Brian Berkowitz afterwards. He was like, no, that's not what he meant. I was like, no, that's how I took it. But I think it was Mike Kelly that ended up saying, don't try to focus on everything. Just focus on one thing and be really good at it. And I'm all like, no, I could provide everything to the agent. I could provide photo, video, you know, 3D to the agent, and I'll be just fine. And so I think now there's going to be a transition. This may be a little bit trendy, like, hey, this is something cool to do. And it could be something that isn't used in the next year or two, with helping agents with their vertical format video and marketing and everything like that. And there are companies out there that help agents with that that started as a real estate media producer that moved. There's one up here that used to be just a real estate media company, and now they're doing all marketing videos for clients. One, they see a bigger invoice. They see it's maybe a little bit more work, but it's more rewarding, I guess you could say. Because now they're referring out, hey, this can help with branding and everything. So many agents are asking me, hey, do you know anyone who can help produce content for us? Like follow me around throughout the day. I'm like, hire an assistant. You're not going to want to pay my hourly rate to follow you around. Right. And so I feel like there is going to be a separation of people, but you have to make sure that you have the bandwidth to be able to do that. Like a single solo person or even someone with two people on their team. Teaching Josue how to actually do these vertical formats so that he can actually focus on that if I don't have enough houses for him to shoot, especially now in this market. Right. And so he's going to be focusing on that so that we can have that section of the brand. Bailey actually comes in. Both of those two, Josue and Bailey, are my two shooters. They actually do portraits so that we can offer that to them too. I hate portraits because I hate people's perspective of themselves. Like I can have a perfect picture, but then they're like, oh, I don't like the way I look. So I don't do those personally, but I feel like I can pivot because I understand it a little bit better and provide that. But at the same time, I'm not moving 100% to, helping agents market themselves.
But you are having though people on your team who can do that. I mean, because I think we're thinking of even though we have no shoots and who knows if we'll ever have any more shoots, of expanding our team and the kind of person that we're looking at does have a lot of that kind of social media experience and has run social media for other brands. And so, hey, not only can this person come in and hopefully shoot our standard real estate stuff, but can be that kind of person on the team who can really get out there in a creative way and work with agents. Because so you are saying that you are having that is an upsell that is working for you right now. And I think kind of as everything is slow, I mean, that is a path that all of us can take, is to try to cultivate a little bit more business. If you have a realtor who is, and maybe they're getting a little desperate too. And they're like, okay, it's my last $1,500, but I'm going to spend it with you guys to try to, cultivate a social media to hopefully get another listing.
Yeah, that's basically how it's going, because there are a lot of agents that are kind of worried right now. Even big teams, they're like, hey, we can't support everybody. There's just no houses on the market for us to actually sell and go do everything. What should we do? And you've seen, myself personally in my local area, I've watched them actually pick up their phone and start recording reels and becoming, the subject matter expert of whatever they're trying to teach, which brings them more clients because they're the person in their area that, hey, this is your go-to person. Right. And so it's a weird transitional period for us. The last, 3 years have been pretty much feast for us. And so it's the ones who are going to be able to transition and offer something that both the clients can use to market themselves in order to get more. Without real estate agents getting sellers or buyers, we have no money.
Yes, exactly.
Like without them. So how can we help them market themselves a little bit better in order so that $1 million, $2 million, which is like a condo in California, can get them next. And so that's what we gotta focus on.
It just goes back to the theme of one of the themes of this podcast for the last year is we market realtors, not real estate. And that's, and so if there aren't listings, then we got to figure out a different way to market realtors. And I think that's kind of why I wanted to have you on the podcast today. And we're going to talk more about that after our social media sidebar, after the break. And Dom hasn't promised me in words, but I saw the look in his eye earlier that he has a banging action item for the end. So I'm super looking forward to that. So stick around. Dom, if there's one guy who loves Ariel even more than me, it could be you.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt.
You love it. Wait, let's fight. Who loves Ariel more? Me or Dom?
Clearly me. We can look at the signups. I preach it to everyone.
Well, you can look at the signups, but I would say, did you time the hug that you got from Brannick at PMRE? Because I timed mine and it was pretty damn long.
All right. I didn't need to because
the love is reciprocal.
I'm just saying I was on the screen and Brannick was talking about me and my business. That's how much I love Ariel.
But he was thinking about me.
He knew that you were going to come up next. And so he was like, all right, let me put my number one up first. But no, Ariel is amazing.
Okay, so what is that like? We cannot spend like 20 minutes talking about Ariel. What is like the one thing that if someone asks you, what is the one reason that you say use Ariel?
It's a one-stop shop. I have my scheduling.
Dom does media.
Yeah, one-stop shop. My scheduling, my photo, video, 3D, floor plan delivery. Client switches to my QuickBooks, and my accountant loves it. That's your big positive. You want to make sure your accountant loves the way you track your money, because if not, they'll make you disappear.
Well, there you go. So like, take it from me, take it from Dom, Ariel. And here's the thing. If you want to go to Ariel.com, ARYEO.com, I don't want you to use Dom's code. I want you to use our code. And the code is Upmarket. And if you use that at checkout, you're going to get, for any new account, you're going to get 15 free, absolutely free bonus listings. And that's, I mean, these days with the current market, that's like a year's worth of listings. I mean, you can have Ariel free for a whole year if you only do 15 listings if you use our service.
We're not that bad.
Yeah, all right.
It'll be fine. But no. All my clients love it. So they're like, it looks so clean and professional.
I've never heard one client ever complain about Ariel. So there you go. Boom. Today's social media sidebar is sponsored by Local Marketing Department, the way that real estate media companies can become real estate marketing agencies. Local Marketing Department is a white label service that you can sell to your clients in order to help them with their SEO, with their social media, and with their Google My Business. Dom, you actually said it's not even Google My Business anymore. What did you say it was called?
Google Business Suites.
Google Business Suites. So a Local Marketing Department is going to help your clients rank higher in Google Business Suites. That is what they do. It is a great way to expand the services that you offer. And when people are looking at you and deciding which photographer they want to use, if you can say that you provide all these different services, if you want to become the true one-stop shop that you claim to be, but we can even claim a little more because we have Local Marketing Department. So we are a real estate marketing agency. Cannot recommend it more highly. Elevates your brand in front of your agents. So it's localmarketingdepartment.com, and that's not department spelled out. It's DEPT, localmarketingdept.com. Mention you heard it on Upmarket podcast, and they're going to give you a month of free service and 2 3-month packages for your agents. Localmarketingdepartment.com. We love it. And we love it so much that we let them sponsor this, our social media sidebar, all about social media. Our social media is Upmarket Pod across everything. You can visit our website, our flagship website for our company, upmarket.media. If you want to contact us, you can go to upmarketpod.com, send us a message. And of course, Dom, I know you heard we're pimping the course, upmarketcourse.com. I know you are one of the students. I know you bought the course. It's quid pro quo. That's why you're on the damn podcast. We appreciate that.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I'm not going to make you give the testimonial for it, but again, you can get on there, upmarketcourse.com, use the code LAUNCH35, book a 15-minute phone call with me, harass me, ask me any questions you want. It's all good. Dom, the king of social media, where can we, in the real estate media world, where can we find you?
Mainly on Instagram at Dom Does Media.
Yeah, it's just like, and for anyone who's not on there following Dom, it's constant. It's all day, every goddamn day. It's just Dom.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. That's fine. But you're also, you just started actually a new Facebook group for our industry, the real estate media.
Yeah, real estate media, because that's, I feel like our industry has moved into it. PMRE changed from PFRE to PMRE, and I felt like there was no real estate media group.
Right.
And
so the main group is the real estate photography group.
Yeah, I send everybody there with the stupid questions.
It's like, 30,000 members or something in there.
Half of them are wedding photographers.
Yeah, well, that's okay. Weddings, that's a valuable service. But now, so the real estate media group, I've been a member of that. It's popping occasionally. So we could use a few more. We could use a few more members. So if you're listening to this and you don't know about the real estate media group on Facebook, check it out. There's a lot of cool people in there, a lot of good information. I think people are actually, there's a little bit of trolling, of course, because it is this industry, but I actually do think you can ask an earnest question and you may get one or two responses that are actually
as long as you use a search bar, man. I mean, the group is new, so I understand newbie questions, but after a while, use the search bar.
Yeah. Yeah, that's your biggest problem. So, but you are super active. So, have you found that being active in the Facebook groups is that just like fun for you, or is there a larger play there?
No, I actually want to actually help people out because I started from nothing and I understood how to search for information and understanding, but I know that there's a lot of people who aren't. But then I also see a lot of people who try to capitalize on people who don't know how to grow their business properly. And like,
are you thinking of anyone in particular?
I'm not gonna bring it up. It's just not. I'm just. It's gone now. It's out of here. I don't even care anymore. But it's just all like, I want to see everybody succeed because I go from almost homeless to now buying a $500,000 house and potentially making $650,000 this year. And this career allowed me to do it. So I feel like it's part of me paying it forward. Like I have my own real estate course to teach people. Oh, but I don't ever promote it. I don't ever promote it because
you should promote it right here, right now.
It's okay. I mean, I guess it's for very entry level people. It's mainly for drone photographers who wanted to learn how to do photos on the inside, video, and 3D. So it really teaches those people how to do it. And so
where can we find it?
DroneLaunchAcademy.com, which is I'm one of their instructors. And so you'll just have to look up Real Estate Media Pro. I didn't come up with the name, they did. So
well, sounds very professional.
It's a very good entry level course that will teach you how to just basically start. And I even go into a marketing on how to use Instagram for free to get clients, which is how I built my business.
Right. No, and I think that's great. And there could be, is there stuff for people if you already have a business? I mean, is there stuff that's going to be that you're going to find value in there, or should you just buy the Upmarket course instead? Because that's why I feel like our courses are not really competing against each other because we're kind of talking about different stuff. Yeah,
mine just is basically basic. I literally go over f-stop, aperture and everything in there. So I mean, it's very basic is what I'm trying to tell people. And I don't want people who are already really established in the photography to waste their money. Yeah, it's wasting your money.
Of course. And I think that goes to what I would tell someone who's maybe just absolutely starting out. It's like, well, I think there's valuable stuff in our course, but there's going to be stuff that is just not relevant to you. And hopefully you could find value, but I think there's enough value, but I'm not going to be like, just like, you got to buy the course. It's the only way you're going to be able to grow your business from scratch. And it's just, that's not what it's designed to be. So
I really like courses. I try to take 3 courses every year in order to grow, because even if it's from another person who has a course that teaches real estate photography, I kind of try to take that course just to try to see their technique into it, so I can merge it into my technique if I find something of value there. One of the biggest things was like art and real estate cinematography. Whenever that course came out, my videos I thought were amazing, and then afterwards it just started skyrocketing. Like, video is like almost on 40% of all my invoices now. And so
is that 40%, and that's including the real video though too?
No, it's not.
So like kind of classic cinematic video is like 40% of your invoices.
Yeah, on 40% of them. Yeah, not 40%
okay.
of.
Yes, I get it. Yeah. Right. You're doing 40% of shoots. Yeah.
Yeah, I just the biggest thing, going back to the groups and everything, I'll troll if I find that someone isn't willing to put in some work. I will troll. I'll be like, dude, you're not willing to put in the work to find this on a simple Google question. And I know this question you're asking has been asked 100 times, and you can't tell me you use the search bar in order to not find it. Yeah, I'm going to be a smart ass about it, because it shows that you're not really willing to put in the effort. You're just seeing that real estate photography is a quick buck, and that's all you care about is making the quick buck. It's like Devin keeps saying, it's all about the crypto bros. What's their next thing, which is ChatGPT, which is amazing right now, which is, I love that stuff. But I love genuine people. Like, if people actually genuinely ask me for help, like I do coaching one-on-one, like people call me up and we set up 1 hour talks and come up with steps and everything for them to, I see what's wrong with their business or what they're doing. And then I'm like, hey, let's try this, see if this can help you out. If it doesn't, we move off to another thing. And if not, I'd be like, hey man, I can't help you, but I haven't run into that situation yet. But I felt like there's a lot of people who I have helped guide over the years and helped them understand, like, I think, who was it? There was one dude that was like, I could never do this. I can never charge that much money. And then here they are charging that much money now. So
nice. So, and I think I might have described you this way. I was talking to Bethany Dietrich once, and as you're like the troll with the heart of gold. And like, I think... And I think that's true. Like, it's like, yeah, you get out there and you bust people's balls, but then you're this total softy and genuinely try to help people. And so that's something I really appreciate about you. And let's get into that more in the second half of the show. So come on back after this little break. We are going to have a lot more with Dom, and we are going to have just amazing action items. Oh yeah. Dom, do you know about Pixelmob.com?
I love Pixelmob.com.
My God, so do I. We have so much in common, you and I.
That's why we're always never talking to each other.
I know. I
need to get red shoes, okay?
Yeah, you do need to get some red shoes. And you know who loves my red shoes? The guys at Pixelmob.com. And
dude, they're great.
Okay. Because I feel like I've described it quite a bit on this show. Can you give me the 20-second nutshell? What is Pixelmob?
You need it's like Tinder for video editors. No,
photo. They don't do have video editors. Actually,
photo editors. Yeah. So you go on there and you're looking at everybody's style and everything of their edits, and you're like, hey, this actually can fit my style. I like this for my brand, and you can test them out, make sure everything's right, have good communication. You can upvote these people and just give the review. And it's just pretty amazing because
it's like a marketplace, a verified marketplace to find an editor, right?
Everybody's asking for editors.
Yeah. I used to think the best way was to just look in my spam folder every morning and pick one of the 5 emails I get. But I think Pixelmob might be a better way.
It's definitely it's a one-stop shop. That's what you
for finding an editor.
I think this is what
we love. One-stop shops.
Action points are.
Oh, all right. Oh, action items. Okay, are you teasing our action items in our ads?
No.
Great. Okay, but it's Pixelmob.com. If you think there's an E in Pixel, you are sadly mistaken, because it's Pixelmob.com. Pixelmob.com/upmarket. And if you go there, guess what? You're gonna get $25. Who doesn't want $25? They're going to give you $25 to spend on the editor marketplace, so you can find your true love, the editor that you want to start editing all your photos from now on, and you're going to get a $25 head start. Pixelmob.com. Dom, are you like me and like everyone in our industry and realizing that floor plans are pretty damn crucial?
Yes.
Everyone is loving floor plans. One of the upstart players in the floor plan game, Second Floor app. This is one of the coolest ways to create floor plans for your clients. Really good floor plans and at a really good price. They have a cool app. You're walking around. You're going to get that floor plan. It's going to be accurate, and it is lightning fast. You can deliver the floor plan while you are still on site.
Unlike other ones.
Incredible. Unlike other ones. We know who we all know who we're talking about. We're not talking about them. We're talking about Second Floor app.
Yes. The guy who developed it is a pretty genuine guy, and I tend to I navigate or gravitate to genuine people, and like if it's BS, I don't like it. But he's a wholesome guy, and what he has created is definitely needed in this industry, I think.
Absolutely. And here's one little anecdote I'll tell you that happened over the weekend. I got a Facebook message from a listener and said, "Hey, I'm trying to check out Second Floor app, but I had a problem using the code. It didn't work. I'm bummed." And I said, "My God, I'm bummed too." So I messaged Adam, and literally within 2 minutes, he's in the guy's DMs, customer servicing it up. The guy's happy. Everything's great. This is what I'm talking about. Second Floor is run by amazing people who, if there's ever a problem with it, and I think they fixed that problem, so we don't have to worry about that problem, they're on it because they care and they're trying to build a product that is great and meets all our needs. So secondfloorapp.com /Upmarket, you are going to get a free month of service. It's a great deal. We should all use it. Dom, I implore you, get out there, try Second Floor. You will love it. Your clients will love it. It's fast, and it's the best value out there for floor plans. Dom, thank you for all that. And here's what I want to kind of lead off the second half with, because you've listened to the podcast, you know me a little bit. I've had, you saw my talk at PMRE, I've had issues with this industry, with this job, like personal issues where it's like, I have not felt fulfilled. I felt overworked. I felt a lot of things. And one of the things that I really appreciate about you is, and I think it goes back to, I think what you just said in the social media sidebar about the people you like, or in the ad that you said about the Second Floor guys. It's like, they're genuine people. And what I always get from you is that you are being genuine. And I really feel from you a genuine love for what you do. And I think for me, that I'm feeling it now. Like I feel the love for my role now and the way I'm existing in the business. But when I was out there, shooting and doing all that, I think I had more bitterness than I had love. And so I guess my question to you is like, do you truly love what you do? And is that why you're good at it? Or are you just the kind of person who just like enjoys life, whatever you're doing?
No, I hate life most of the time.
You hate life most of the
time. No, okay. To be honest, I think it's a culmination of my entire life, because, I did join right after 9/11, and knowing that I was going to go
join
to
the
like
military.
war and join the military. And so it was like, I signed up. I'm like, all right, I'm going to Iraq, or I'm going to Afghanistan, 2 deployments over there. First deployment, I saw chaos. I saw everything like that. And so but then actually dealing with like the structure of the military, just because someone has a higher rank, they could be a complete dumbass, and I have to work with them just because they're in charge with me. Into moving out of the military after breaking my leg twice, the military was like, "Hey, we can't keep you no more." And so then I tried college, and then I hit the bottom of the barrel, man. Like, I was going 3 days away from being evicted into going to what are the food pantries or whatever in order to get some food, in order to have some kind of nourishment. In fact, it really hit me whenever I had to go to the Humane Society to try to get food for my dog, because I couldn't provide food for my dog. My car got repoed and everything like that. So I think where I'm coming from and where I am now, where I've been, I've seen the chaos of war. I've seen what it could be like to almost be homeless. I haven't been homeless, so I'm thankful to the higher power, whoever's looking after me, to not let me do that. But like where I'm at now, there's just so much gratitude, because it's completely changed my life, going from, like I say, almost homeless to making a decent amount of money. And so I think every morning I wake up with gratitude, And so I want to give it my 110%, because I also think about it this way. I know how much of a heartache or how much chaos it brings into my life trying to buy or sell a house. I've done it twice. And so I'm all like, I'm going to each and every person's house, and you think of it just as a client for that day. You're like the cherry on top. Everything had to work perfectly for both the agent and the homeowner in order for you to be there to take photos so that they can, go live on their stuff. So they've went through so much stuff.
Right.
And so I take it as, if they're a little bit snarky with me, hey, I get it. You can be snarky, but a lot of them are grateful because you do produce high quality media for them to paint it in the best light. But I think it's just more gratitude, just being able to be a part of someone's life, even if it's only for a sparkle for a second, a glimmer like that. And so I just look at it like that. And I honestly have never put it into words how I feel or why I'm okay with it. And which is another reason why I try to help people out there, like find ways to get new clients, find ways to improve their business, their work, pretty much for free, But that's basically it. It's gratitude.
Yeah. And I appreciate that. I mean, I think that's beautiful, man. And I think my attitude towards it has been different than that, where like I resented it, right? Where I didn't have gratitude. And I think I'm getting to a place where I do have gratitude, and you realize that I've been fortunate. I've never been in that moment where I'm 3 days away from being homeless or anything like that. And I think if you don't have that, it can be hard to recognize how actually close we are to that, right? Like any of us, unless we have generational wealth or whatever, you're just a couple bad things away from being in that exact same position, right? And to be able to come at life with that attitude, I think is really powerful. And I think really, and it really empowers you. And I'm, when you were just speaking, I started thinking about something going on in my own life right now, where my mother is not doing very well, and she's had a lot of health issues, and is kind of, has to do dialysis 3 days a week, and has heart failure, and doesn't have memory, and is like, her life is very confined and not amazing. And I think that she's not handling it with gratitude. And it's a problem. It's a problem for our family, because it's instead of rejoicing in what she is still able to have, she's lamenting and bitter about the things that she has lost, and is blind to what everyone else in the family has been doing to be able to preserve the little independence she still has. And maybe that's a genetic thing, and maybe, it's maybe not apples to apples, but like I can look at myself and think about the time that I've spent bitter, or the time that I have spent resenting this business, and the time suck, and the, all the annoyances with the realtors and everything else. And why do I have to have that attitude? It's like, why can't I just have that attitude of gratitude, where you're like, well, I know they might be a little bit annoying, but you know what? This is paying my rent. This is doing this. This is, I'm building this business, and I'm genuinely helping people. I'm kind of now famous for hating homeowners, but they are in a vulnerable time. It is one of the hardest moments that you have in your life. And yeah, sure, you may or maybe you're going to make $1 million, but it still doesn't mean it's not stressful. And so I've really tried to check myself and have been trying to come at things with this sense of gratitude. And I don't know how successful I've been. So I think, Dom, I am trying to take some inspiration from you and how you walk through life. And I'm hoping that this podcast has been such a thing where it is kind of that, where we are hopefully helping people, and we're making a little bit of money on it, but not that much. We're not getting rich off of it by any stretch of the imagination. So, what is my point with that? I guess my point is, thank you for pointing that out, and I hope it is a lesson to all of us to kind of go through these things with a bit more gratitude, because I think ultimately if you have that attitude, and I think the proof is in the pudding, you will grow your business if you genuinely have gratitude. But then that said, do you actually like taking photos and video?
So I've been a photographer for the past, I don't know, like 15 years or whatnot. I used to do automotive photography and stuff like that. Photos, not so much. It's fine. It's a process that I can do with my eyes closed.
Yeah.
What I find a lot of joy.
Yeah.
No, you shouldn't. Unless I hear that beep with the Sony, I'm very audible. Like, all right, it locked focus. Let's go. But I love doing video because it's more of a storytelling, and it brings the feeling of a home in. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes, I'll walk into a home and I'm like, it's cold and dreary. Let me try to brighten this up. But it can translate into the video, and it doesn't feel bright and dreary, bright and everything. Mm-hmm. But you can walk into someone's home and you smell fresh baked cookies, and you're like, oh man, I can definitely make this a banger video, like this last one that I did that was on the water. Dear God, I love that house so much. But I was able to convey that in the video. And so that's one big thing that I'm really passionate about right now. I hate Matterport 3D. I hate 3D.
Matterport's not a sponsor. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Okay, we're good. Only because of how slow it takes. I am not one of those ones who do a Theta or an Insta360 with Matterport. I do the Pro 2 camera because I love the quality and consistency with it.
Well, here it is. Just give them $6,500 and get the Pro 3, and you're going to be done like that.
I will in May. So
yeah. No, we got ours, and your life becomes a lot better, but you also become a lot poorer.
Well, I got to buy 3 of them. Okay.
So, yeah. Well, no, that's what we only bought one, and so we're like, we have one Pro 3 that will pass off, and then we'll do the Pro 2s for the other ones. So.
I hated it so much. That's why I hired another person. That's why I hired Bailey, which caused me. We weren't getting as much 3Ds after like 2021. Of course, so I turned it around, and I'm like, hey, let me teach you photography. She was already a photographer to begin with, but let me teach you the little things that we need to do, little rules in real estate photography. And so this has caused her, and I think that this kind of brings back to the gratitude. I'm able to help her. She owns another business too. She creates a bunch of stuff, but I'm able to keep her income consistent throughout the year, and being able to help her have a certain quality of life, a certain lifestyle that she can have. Because the more she works, the more money she gets. But at the same time, it's like my processes and me going out and meeting new clients. That's what I'm transitioning into. I think kind of like what your transition that you moved into too. More of talking to clients, more of educating clients, more of bringing them on and building the trust. And so then that way they know that my photographers will take care of them. Finally, I got them trusting my photographers.
Right. But no, that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah, it's definitely gratitude that, I'm able to actually help them out with that. And it's not even like helping. It's not like I'm there being their savior, but I am providing something that I built to help them bring in some extra income. And so that's another driving force. Like I could be happy with 75% of my income gone if it was only me that I had to worry about.
Right.
But like how you're taking care of your mom, I moved my grandma in last June because her heart is failing. She has congestive heart failure and everything like that. So that's been tough. And you are correct. Like with the like your mom, like saying that she's like not really grateful for what she still has because there is a lot that she can't do anymore.
Yeah.
And I never understood it.
Yeah.
I never understood that. And then I just sit there and look, and I'm all like, I'm just happy that I'm going to be able to be here for the last couple years of her life and, just learn as much as I can from her, even though we fight all the time.
Yeah. Well, and and I guess you just, I don't know. You just wish that they could let go of that anger and bitterness, and then you could just kind of relate on a little more of a, another level, and but it's also the situation.
How
where
are
it's
we going to be at the end of our life?
Well, yeah, and I think about that, and I think you see it. I saw it with an uncle of mine who had cancer, and he was just like a dick at the end, and I get it. It's got to be tough, and there's physical pain, which I think causes people to be moody or whatever. But man, you just look at it and you're like, God, I hope I do not treat my daughter this way when I'm in that position. if I'm lucky enough to live that long and to do that, because it's heartbreaking for the child. And then it also colors your view of them. It's like my relationship to my mom is different now. And I think I view her in a different way. And maybe when she passes, I will, as time goes on, I will be able to kind of put the end aside and think about, the happy times in my childhood and, all the wonderful things that she has been and, kind of hopefully overlook these last things. I don't know why we're talking about all this stuff, but we are.
Dude, we're getting
that's
deep.
Fine. Oh, we are. Yeah.
So let's transition it just a little bit back,
Okay, good. You're the co-host now. Perfect.
We can relate, there's a lot of people who can relate to this. And so we all go through something, and how do we get that to not affect our business as much?
There you go.
And so sometimes you can use your business as a way to get out and fix things. This is one reason why I always, we were talking off air about editors. I've always used an editor. I used to edit my own videos, but now he takes care of my videos also. But that allows me to spend time with my grandma, allows me to spend time with my family. Like, if you're wanting to grow your business, if some people are like, but that's going to take away from my overhead. I'm like, okay, my overhead that's 10% of my invoice. I'm grateful to be able to charge $300 for 30 images, but I'm only paying my editor $1 an image, and that's $30. So that's 10% of my invoice, but that allows me to either take another shoot, or two, have 1 or 2 more hours with my family. Yes. And I think that's what a lot of people should possibly look at with Pixelmob.
There you go. Use the code Pixelmob /Upmarket. Well, no, and that's really been the crux again of what we've wanted to do with this podcast. Why Mark and I came together in the first place. What really was the theme of my talk at PMRE was not do nothing, as opposed to, I know some people think that it was. We want to have a better life. And it's not only making a better life for ourselves, it's making a better life for the people we work with. It's making a better life for our clients. And it's making a better life for the members of our community, whether it's the homeowners or, or whatever else you can do with your business to kind of help your community.
You knocked it right on the head of the nail right there. And so I definitely agree with that. It's life. You got to work as hard as you want for that lifestyle that you want.
Yeah.
If you don't need to, if you're happy with $40,000 a month, then you're happy with a certain workload. If you're having a perfect work-life balance with that, for me, I will trip out if I'm making only $40,000 a year, because that should be a $40,000 month.
You said a month before. Yeah.
Oh, I meant a year. I meant 40,000. Yeah. So I mean, like, if you're okay with $40,000 a year, so be it. Yeah. That pays all your bills. That allows you to be with your family and everything like that. There's some of us that are like, I'm hitting finally $20,000 this month after the past 4 months of being a little bit low because of the change in the market and my luxury. I focus on a lot of luxury listings, and they were non-existent the past 3-4 months. Right. And so I have a certain lifestyle that I like to keep up, and
yes,
it's fine. And so that's what I'm happy with. And that's whatever you bring into the groups. I'm like, hey, what's successful in this business? Like, what do you define as success? And a lot of people are weird about talking about numbers. I love talking about numbers because I want to explain to people what is potentially possible in this career. But a lot of them like, dude, it doesn't matter what my numbers are. What matters is that my bills are paid, my family is taken care of, and I'm able to, sustain this. I'm like, cool. I like that.
Well,
what's your savings look like, though?
But it changes. And I mean, when I first started, I was like, oh man, if I can do 3 shoots a week and make, whatever, $500 or $600 a week, I'm set. Because it was just a side thing when I'm doing other stuff. And now, if we don't make $40,000 a month, I'm like, holy shit. Yeah. We gotta, it's like, get another credit card. Cause it's like, so, it changes. It changes.
You have to recalibrate yourself sometimes.
Yeah, always, always. And life changes. And I didn't have a kid in private school, when I first started this,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
How big's that check each month?
Big enough. Yeah.
Just go hang out with
So-
him. There'll be people always wanting to sell their houses there.
Yeah. So, it's just like life changes and your needs change. And so you just have to be able to kind of morph with that. So
I think the coolest thing is that real estate photography allowed me to buy a house that allowed me to move my grandma in so I can help take care of her.
well, there you go. So that is your, and it goes back to, again, let's just take it. Let's just bring it back to my talk at PMRE. It is figuring out your big why. Why are you doing this business? Why are you doing what you do? And for you, it's like, I guess, hey, I want to be able to buy a house that I can move my grandma into so I can spend time with her as, she's spending her final years.
Yep.
I mean, that's great. And other people might be, I want to, have a house in Mexico, whatever. Right. Or I just want to, whatever. There's no right answer. The only right answer is the one that's right for you.
So funny story about a house in Mexico.
Oh,
so
well,
Rich.
I love funny stories.
Rich is neighbors down there.
Rich Baum, yeah.
He's one of the neighbors with one of my clients.
Oh.
Like, what are the chances? Like, they met on a beach one night and they're like, yeah, Rich is like, I do real estate photography. She's like, oh, I'm a real estate agent. Oh, who do you use? They're like, Dom. He's like, I know Dom.
Oh, there you go.
So like such a small world.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's what I've run into people in Europe before that I know, so it's like, it just, it's like, it is a small world. Any other words of wisdom as we're kind of wrapping up here? What do you think the key has been to you growing your business in such a profound way?
This isn't my action item, is it?
No, it's not your action item.
No, it's like I always need to learn. I always need to grow. I'm really big on learning from my mistakes. And so like, as long as I don't keep repeating those mistakes, I continue to grow. And so that's just the biggest thing. It's, if you mess up on a photo, not to mess up on that photo the next time. If you mess up on the video, not to mess up on the video. If you need to find a way to get new clients, you find a way to get new clients. It's just learning from my mistakes and growing from that. And so, little goals here and there, like, hey, I want to reach out to a certain amount of clients or reach out to a certain amount of clients who I've never worked with before, but have a relationship on social media with, or who I've met at networking events and stuff like that. Just reaching out to them. I don't sell. I hate selling. I hate people who sell. Like, what's the purpose of selling if you have a product that people want? And so, unless my product can solve an issue, which is helping list the house, I don't want to sell it. Like, this is one of the reasons why I hate car dealerships. I'm like, why are you marking MSRP up right now? Like, are you giving me an extra value here?
I don't know. I don't want to get into a debate about it, but I think we have to sell in a way, because it's like, it's not about listing the house. Remember, I really feel it's about, are these things you're doing enhancing the realtor's brand? Is it helping them get another listing? Because that's the real goal of it all, right?
And they know that. Realtors. They should know that. They should know to go to someone who's not really shitty with flash, to where you see bright lights on the ceiling all the time. And I'm like, dude, if you can't flash, don't flash.
Yeah, that's words I've lived by. And I think what realtors are looking for when they are looking for real estate media professionals is they want people of action. And you and I, Dom, are both people of action. And it is time for our action items. I'm going to go first because I want to save the best for last, because I know you're bringing it. I know you're bringing it.
You heard that, Brannick.
So
I am the best.
My action today, and it's kind of inspired by something I did today off air. I went to a networking group, and it's called the CMA networking group. I don't even know what the acronym is, but it's kind of I think it's pitched to realtors as it's like the creme de la creme of realtors. And it's a networking group where it's like, 15 realtors and then like 15 affiliates. And Mark and I are one of the, Upmarket Media is one of the affiliates. And we were able to go. It's this luncheon like twice a month. And sometimes it feels a little bit useless because you're like, well, it's only 15 realtors, but they're kind of like leading edge realtors. Most of them are already our clients, but it is a way to remain top of mind. So I think that as much as, this episode and so much of what we talk about is about our digital marketing, about our social media. It is really important to get out there and do networking. And so obviously there's a lot of networking events that happen for realtors, but if there is a group that is a little more exclusive, I would think about trying to join that group. And if there isn't one of those groups, maybe start one yourself. Start a networking group with realtors and with a select group of affiliates. Have more of that tight knit community, and incentivize those realtors in that group to refer you out. Maybe give a referral bonus. I offered today, I said, hey, if anyone gives us a referral, we'll give you a free aerial photos on your next shoot. That's a way that you can grow your business, strengthen those relationships, even if it's with clients that you already have.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Okay. Dom?
Always be prepared for the whirlwind.
Always be prepared for the whirlwind.
Always be prepared for the whirlwind. The main thing is anything and everything could happen at any moment in your business. And unless you have processes in place, chaos can ensue at any time, and you lose clients, you lose your camera, you get into a car accident or anything like that. That could potentially happen if you don't have your processes in place to stop that from happening. So one big thing, like, hey, you have an upset client, how are you going to fix that issue right then and there? You got to figure out how to be tactful and understand what their problem is. So you got to learn tactfulness. You got to do that with your clients and customer service. If your editor doesn't send you stuff, you got to have a backup editor getting ready to do anything like to edit on the moment's notice. My inbox is definitely full with people who are at a moment's notice waking up at 2:00 in the morning in India to edit my stuff. But like,
or you just go on pixelmob.com
or pixelmob.com. Yes. Yeah. But yeah, it's just preparing for the chaos. And it goes even into a macro level of busy and slow seasons, like having yourself set up as a budget in your business. So say like I pay myself $10,000 a month. In the summertime, I'm going to be stacking up my savings in my business money, or winter comes, I'll be running in a negative, but that's going to be fine because I have that nest egg from the summer. Less chaos, less gray hair, even though.
Yeah, well, it comes regardless, right? So no matter the chaos. So it kind of, in a way, what I took from that is to kind of have backups.
Yep.
For a lot of your systems, a lot of your gear, a lot of just contingencies in place. Where if you get in a car accident, all the time. Yeah. That if you go, if you get into a car accident, you got to make sure that your staff is going to be able to take over for you. All that kind of stuff.
Yep. Well, I mean, you also have insurance because you need a car, right?
There you go. And you have business insurance. That is a big one. That is a big one.
That face is very expensive if you back into it.
Oh, yeah. You got it. Dom, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
I think we touched heart to heart today.
We did. That disappointed me, but it happened.
Oh no, you're letting me in. I'm coming in. One way or another, I'm in.
All right. So, who's buying the first round at PMRE in November? You or me? You can do it. You're socking away $10,000 a month. So for this.
Okay, Mr. 40K months. Okay, listen here. I'll be happy with 40K months. Yeah. I mean, that's not my fault. You're not budgeting correct. You know what? No, I'll be totally fine because the guys in Reno owe me a couple shots because they told me I can never find other people from Reno. That's my thing that I do at PMRE. When Drunk Dom comes out, I find people from similar cities and introduce them to each other and watch chaos ensue because normally they're competitors. And I'm like, be awkward. This is great.
Oh, this is great. All right. Well, great. So you chip into my private school for my daughter and we're good. I'll buy the drinks. All right. Perfect.
Yo.
Thank you, Dom. Thanks a lot, man. We'll see you soon. All right.
Bye.
Upmarket is a production of Upmarket Studios. This episode was produced by Chelsea Froelich and edited by Bethany Diedrich. Thank you so much for listening, and we really hope you listen to the next one too. In the meantime, our wish for you is to not have to shoot any Friday night Twilight shoots. Thank you for everything.